Well, you have a motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister that was submitted to the chairman of the Private Business Committee, which is the Speaker, and the Speaker has accepted that. The committee has accepted it, and it's now put on notice paper. So when Parliament starts tomorrow, the mover of the motion, the leader of the opposition, will have to move a motion of confidence against the Prime Minister. And they will have to get the required number to pass the motion. And if the motion is passed, then because the alternate Prime Minister or the next Prime Minister is named already in the motion, he automatically becomes the Prime Minister. You don't necessarily have to vote him, because the motion is moved against the seat of the Prime Minister, and there's an alternate Prime Minister, next Prime Minister named in the motion. So when the motion gets successful, the candidate or the member of Parliament who's named as the next Prime Minister becomes the Prime Minister, which is in this case is Rainbow Paita. No one can, from the opposition or from the government, can say, oh, we will amend or substitute the name of Rainbow Paita and put somebody else. Because although Section 154 subsection 3 says that you can substitute the name of some other person, that provision, Section 145 subsection 3 of the Constitution, is not very clear as to what it means. That subsection has not been judicially determined by the Supreme Court that this is the way. If you read Section 145, subsection 1A, B, and Section 145, 2, clearly you will find, you will clearly find that for you to remove a Prime Minister, you've got to follow those processes. You've got to name the Prime Minister, alternate Prime Minister. You've got to give 1 week's notice. It has got to be signed by 1/10 of the members of Parliament. It's a clear prescription under the Constitution. So one cannot say that the Speaker has got absolute right, because the Speaker's powers are given by the Constitution, and what he can do and what he cannot do. And because it is a constitutional process, the Speaker is limited to what is prescribed that he can do under the Constitution, Section 145. So if anybody tries to say that, no, well, a motion is on the floor, so anybody can become a Prime Minister, nominated as a Prime Minister, and they can substitute their name. No, it's not like that. It is a constitutional process that clearly prescribes, and you must follow that process. Prime Minister James Marape remains as Prime Minister, and they can always move another motion of confidence. The opposition is free to move another motion. The only qualification is that it's got to be 12 months before the next general election. You can't move a motion of confidence against the Prime Minister. But before that, if they are unsuccessful tomorrow, they can move another motion. Signs somehow, and then it's resignation, then anybody can become Prime Minister. From the opposition, anybody can be nominated. Then that person will have another 18 months grace period, which will take him effectively to 2027 national election. If the Prime Minister resigns and gets re-elected again, he will have another 18 months grace period again to 2027. So if the Prime Minister thinks that he's got the numbers, he can resign on the floor tomorrow and get re-elected and cut off the threat of vote of no confidence again.